Hey, Shalom Akim out there. Before I begin, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect throughout the four winds of the earth who are preaching and teaching this word in truth and in sincerity. Alright, man, in this one I want to get into where the main deliverance of the Israelites is going to be at. Alright? And that's America, which is biblically known by different names like Babylon, Babylon the Great being like the main one, Sodom and Egypt, you know, the Great Whore. Okay, this is where the main deliverance of the true Israelites, who are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans, you know, this is where it's going to take place. Okay? Because this is where the majority of Jake dwell. Because, I mean, like, we have dedicated neighborhoods for we have dedicated names for Jake neighborhoods. Okay, like the ghetto, the slums. So this is where the majority of Jake are, man. You know, and this message can reach the four winds of the earth. You know, through what you are listening to this on now, okay, which is the internet. Okay, that's why we got camps in Australia, Canada, Nigeria, all throughout Europe. Okay, there's camps all over the place, man. Preaching and teaching the truth. Alright? But the main deliverance is going to come out of the North Country. Alright, so that's what I got right here. And so I hope that this is edifying. This is Jeremiah 23. I'll start at 6. And it says, "In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called, the Lord Yahweh, our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that they shall no more say, the Lord Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children out of the land of Egypt," right? Because this is like the main thing that's talked about now, like the story of Moses. Okay, very 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 well known. And then it goes on to say, "But the Lord Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land." So that's going to be the magnificence of the deliverance out of America. Okay, it's going to be a magnificent event, man. It's going to be like, hey, bro, it's going to be the greatest event to have ever taken place on the earth, you know? Outside of the whole earth being flooded. But that was the first death, you know? And so to put it in perspective, the scriptures call this, call the one that's going to come by fire on Babylon the Great, the second death. Okay, which is going to be a flood of fire, because the earth is due for a lot of cleansing, man. You know, and plus the Lord promised that He would not flood the earth again. You know, so that's why That's why you have the rainbow in the sky, man, because that's how he made his promise uh, uh, visible to us. Okay, with the bow in the sky. All right. But you have scoffers, mainly talking about Bishop Nate and his followers going to the land of Africa, you know, to build up something there, you know, buying up a bunch of land, saying that they're gonna go teach in the other lands. Well, this is where the well this is where the cake is at, man. This is where the majority um, of it is, And the scriptures call us fishers, so it's like you're purposely putting yourself in a position uh, where you're casting your net on a lot of water that don't have uh, nearly as many fish as here. Okay, in America, man, the fish are everywhere, man. This is the place of the valley of dry bones. That's talking about in the book of Ezekiel, man, the valley of dry bones. Ezekiel 37 and 1. And it says, the hand of Yahweh was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And this isn't referring to like actual bones and skeletons. Okay, this is like talking spiritual, man, and that's why we can't um, always take the word at face value. And so I'll elaborate further as I read more. It says, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And and just a quick ad, man. The the scriptures refer to the word of the Lord as water. Like Yahweh Shai said, to him that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And there's other ones that says, to those who follow the Lord, they shall be like they are planted by a river. For lack of better words, very roughly paraphrasing that one. And then there's one in Deuteronomy, I want to say, where the Lord said that let me see if I can find this one. I think this may be it right here in Deuteronomy 32:2. Here we go, right here. Deuteronomy 32. I'll start at verse 1, and it says, "Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine, right? My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of Yahweh ascribe ye greatness unto our God. You know, so when it's talking about the valley of dry bones, man, you know, it's saying that these people are very ungodly. You know, they are godless. Okay, and our people have completely put on the way of the heathen, which it tells us in Jeremiah the 10th chapter. Um, it says to learn not the way of the heathen. And that's for a reason, man. Because look at the state of our people. Fucking embarrassing, man. And that's why, you know, I'll continue on in Ezekiel 37:3. It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? Um, and you know, and so when it says live, man, the you know, if you think about the show The Walking Dead, you know, it's basically like our people. You know, like there's a scripture that talks about people, you know, a person being dead while he liveth, because the things that he's doing and performing, you know, and the works that he's doing, um, in his day to day, you know, they are the ways of death, and they are not the ways of life. So that's why he's asking them, you know, can these bones live? It says, and I answered, O Lord Yahweh, thou knowest. Uh, Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Look, see, and so this is, you know, this is why when we refer to being converted back to the Lord, you know, and coming into the truth, as what? As waking up. Because before it was like we were dead, you know, in a perpetual sleep our whole lives. And the 2/3 are like that, man. All right, and the 2/3 are like that, which is why that they are gonna take their part in the second death, because they're not gonna hear. Because they're not gonna hear the words of the prophets that have been set up by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, speaking according to his words, just like it says in the book of Hosea 12:10. You know, that the prophets, or it says that the Lord has spoken by his prophets. Okay, so we are speaking his words. Okay, just like now, you know, all the points that that I am making are all inspired by the scriptures. You know, backed up, proven, and this is how you teach. Okay, a lot of people teach from their emotions, you know, and things that they have been through. But if it's not according to the scriptures, you know, it's not profitable. You know, it's got to be shit, man. It's got to be according to the scriptures, because these words are faithful and true. All right. It says that's basically the point. But yeah, man, the elect are, man, man, the elect are waking up, and so that's why you have the whole beast system. You know, that's about to come into play, because all the pieces on the Lord's board, you know, and all the pieces are, you know, are in place for the conclusion of this placement, the climax. Okay, the ending of this so-called great place, America, man, which people say is like the greatest place on earth and everything, man. Which shit, I guess, currently is, but it will not be like so, man. The scriptures say that it'll no longer be called tender and delicate. Isaiah 47 verse 1, and it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers." Basically talking about how this place is going to be exposed on all levels, and that's already happening. You know, the 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 leaders of this country, are being exposed to be PDF files, you know, and and blood drinkers, and all sorts of, uh, uh, you know, they are guilty of heinous acts, man, on a whole nother level. Verse 3 says, it says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." Look, see, because the Lord came back as a man, before, okay, 2,000 years ago. But on this, on his second time around, during the second coming, he's not going to be just a man. He's going to come in his godlike state with power. All right, because that's how the scriptures describe him coming back, man, is with power and great glory. Whew, man. Shit, man. The scriptures are just jumping off the pages. These things are coming to fruition, and it is very, very evident that this place is on a downhill track. This place has lost all of its salt, man. Because what's happening, or what has happened, is those who made this country, so damn seasoned, was Jake. But Jake is waking up to this shit and not really partaking, and doing the same shit that they once did. So that's why you have everything in a downhill spiral, because those who truly made it great are spiritually departing from the ways of this place, putting off the ways of the heathen and of America, and putting on the ways of the Lord. So with that being said, hope and pray that this was edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.